Howdy, y'all. This is Darrell Lee Berry Jr. here. Impromptu one. Uh, uh, Another one of the Flat Earth Challenger response, the next one in the same series. What's going on, Real Kindness? I was seeing if I can go ahead and get this one in now while New Perspective was responding in the moment. So, any new folks, be sure to like and subscribe. There's all the links. And I'll get the Discord up in front again. So, basically, what we have here is hopefully you saw my last. I know you were here, Real Kindness. Hopefully, anybody else who joined saw my last one where I responded to New Perspective. And I figured since while I was taking a break from my studies for a moment, I'll go through and see if I can respond more real time while he's here. But it looks like he's going offline again. I told him I was about to start momentarily so I could respond while he's here in case he has something to say. Um, but if anybody saw the last video I put up, I basically reiterated that I'm aware of the perspective of, you know, that flat earthers commonly misconstrue things and try to patchwork things together that we don't normally uh, put together. And I informed him that in the first section, I informed him that yes, I'm aware that there's a certain perspective where people, you could imagine you're hovering above the earth and the ground is going by 1,000 miles an hour. But in astronomy, we don't think of rotation that way. In physics, we don't think of rotation that way. At least not in my experience as a senior undergraduate student in physics and astronomy. His response in the text that I covered in part two was basically reiterating that no, people do see it that way. So I made a part two saying what I noticed that the first time, and I actually cut that clip out and said, look, here's the clip of me saying, yes, I understand you can look at it that way, but that's not how we account for rotation. And I also gave him an example of me showing how something is wrong with the flat earth model. Yeah, same old, exactly, Real Kindness, the same old thing. But I was trying to get him off the same old. I was trying to say, look, I understand what y'all saying with this. To my understanding, that's not how we do astronomy and physics with rotation. It seems like you're putting a few different things together that's not quite working out, and that's facilitating this bad understanding. So I said, look, here's an example of me presenting a disproof flat Earth, and I pulled up my flat Earth comparison of my measurement with the sun, and I gave the observation, I gave the measurements, I gave the calculations, and I say, look, this is how you present something to disprove something. This is an example of what I'm asking for when I say, look, just present what's wrong. It's like I presented, okay, this is the observation, this is the calculation, this is what's wrong, the sun will never set. And just for people who's coming in new, let me actually load that briefly. So let me see here. There we go. That's the one. So just to briefly show what I'm talking about. So I got my angle measurements to the sun, got the distance to everything, got it laid out how it would look on a flat Earth with a sun that far away from the North Pole, did the calculations. The sun would never set. We see the sun below that angle. All the data is there, the evidence is there, the observations are there. Here's the original Earth comparison. These are the tools that I use to get the angle to the sun. Uh, this is how I did it. The subsolar point, all the details, all the calculations. Not just claiming something baselessly and just throwing 1,000 links at you and just saying, look, just look at this 100 hours of material, and then you'll get it. But This is what's wrong with it. This is the observations that show it's wrong. This is the calculations that show it's wrong. This is what's wrong there. All right. So I presented that to him, hoping that uh, uh, that would take care of it. Okay, there he is there. So he's back. Right. So that's the background of where we at. Uh, I was talking about it in the Veritas stream. Real Cogniz. Yeah, I've literally heard them say that. Math is a hoax. You have a pile of sand and another pile of sand. They come together to make one pile. They don't make two. All right. Good. I mean, I can at least say he didn't say that, but he did go ahead and give me some links to something that I've already acknowledged in the video as well. I already said in either part one or part two, new perspective, that I've already seen people present these documents saying, yes, we're treating the Earth like it's a flat stationary plane. We're treating the Earth like the airplane like it's flat and rigid. I've specifically mentioned that in my rebuttal of response. So when I ask you to present like some kind of evidence of this proof, I'm not saying resend the documents that I've already said I've already seen. So this is not showing where the airplane thing is wrong on the globe. This is just showing documents that I've already seen presented. So this is not any new information. So I'm going to scroll through the documents that I've already acknowledged, and I don't remember if it was video one or video two. But if you watch it, I specifically mentioned that I've already seen those documents, and you real Cogniz, you already know that it's really just a model, and we know airplanes are not totally rigid. So I know some of them try to use that to say, look, it's saying the Earth is flat, but I won't even try to go into that now. But suffice it to say, I've already seen presentations of those documents. I'm aware that they're there. But what I'm not seeing real perspective yet is any calculations from you, any observations from you. You're still just reposting memes, um, and just saying a bunch of stuff. So when he responded, I asked him right here, uh, you know, or actually it was before that. So I had actually had an appointment earlier, so I wasn't. I told him, look, I'll be back later and I'll respond to you, and I'll just try to respond now. So I asked him. Oh, it is here. I have some time. Let me scroll up. While I'm scrolling, did you see the entire part two, including my example of how to present evidence against the model? He says I watched it all. But still, his response is to post links to something I've already acknowledged, I've already seen, that's not giving any new information, with no observations, no calculations, nothing to show that planes flying in the air would not work on the globe unless there's some kind of side rocket. Let me I didn't upload the original image yet. Thought it was kind of comical. So let me actually show you the image I'm laughing at so you can see what I'm talking about. I've been updating the image from the the little what do you call it, header image for this train of chats, of talks. So according to what he's saying, this is what we need right here. We need to have some kind of rocket, like I read in the second part. He said we need some kind of sideways acceleration. So there's an airplane going through the air, and sideways. There we go. He says, how did it jump like that? There we go. How about a plane needing to be accelerated twice as fast sideways, right? So this is what we're talking about. You have a plane that's going straight, and the rocket there is acceleration sideways. That's what he's saying. You still, new perspective. have not shown any calculation, any evidence, any observation, any kind of assessment of the globe model to show that what you're saying is needed. Let me go back again. I try it one more time. That's why I want to just go over here. So hopefully you can respond right now in the chat. He said he's on the beach, but he's seeing. But let me go one more time to the Chrome, right? Um, I figure the Chrome should be showing now. Why is the Chrome not showing again? I might have too many things in this window or something. All right, let me just try to find the Chrome again. I don't know what happened with it. Oh, I know what it is. I minimized the window. I have to remember that. There we go. So here it is again, Nuclear Sector. One more time, very briefly. If you're saying something is wrong, this is an example of how you show something is wrong. Make some observations, do some calculations, show that according to the globe model, what you're saying we need, some kind of sideways acceleration of the plane, show that that is what is needed. Just repeating that that is what is needed does not show that is needed. Just repeating the claim that it doesn't work on the globe does not mean it does not work on the globe. You're falling prey to the poor thinking that is inherent in flat earth, where you think just repeating something with no evidence, no observations is proof. This is not working. So I just wanted to come up and just address that now since the post came. Uh, it seems like I don't know how many times I need to say it, but I don't think it's. What do you think, Real Cognitus? I mean, seems pretty clear to me. I mean, I gave the example. I don't really know what else to do at this point. But and I understand he said in his response there he doesn't necessarily consider himself a flat earther in a normal sense, but you know, I just get to the point of no, he's not talking about the nose dipping exactly. Even though somebody did mention that on one of the other people I was talking to, he's trying to say that you know how we and I'll actually bring up his image here. So he's focusing on the fact that you can look at the planet, like let's say if you're hovering outside the planet and you're looking at the planet as if you're just watching it spin in front of you. You could, if you look at the pointing of Earth right in front of you at the equator level, it could be said that the equator is moving to the right at 1,000 miles an hour. You know, because of the circumference. The circumference is about 24,000 miles. It's spinning once a day. So from one perspective, you can say, oh, there's a lateral movement of the ground at 1,000 miles an hour. What I've explained to him is, as a senior double major in physics and astronomy, in no physics class, in no astronomy class, have I ever seen rotation referred to in that way. Rotation is always referred to as in terms of a period. We never actually look at a planet or look at a star and say, okay, this star in this part of the galaxy, we've measured the circumference of the star, and that star is rotating, you know, a million kilometers an hour or whatever. We don't do that. So I'm trying to let him know that it seems like he's putting an aspect of something into rotation that doesn't mix unless he can show that it does, right? His response was, okay, you asked for some documents. Here are some documents. But all he did was send the same documents that I've already said I've seen. We've, anybody who's been watching these debates enough, you saw where the flat earthers say, oh, look, the government acknowledges that as a flat plane. Look, it says it in the manual. And we've already showed how it's just a model or it's just an approximation. But that's what he showed. That is not adding new information. So he's trying to say that airplanes prove that the Earth is flat because, or not a globe, because its planes don't have this sideways acceleration. So he's saying he caught up now, and he's looking. And let me actually put this image down into the little stream part, so it's easier for me to share. There we go. So I won't be on for long. I just wanted to see if I could get his response real fast. So he asked is, you still think saying we measure rotation by degrees is an answer? No, New Perspective. What I'm telling you is you have not presented anything yet for me to answer. That's what I'm telling you. This is an example of presenting something for me to answer. I presented observations, I presented calculations that show that the sun does not set on a flat earth. Observations of the angle of the sun, distances that we know because we travel the earth, distance from where I'm at, distance from where the subsolar point is at, distance, the circumference of the earth, at least half of that to the edge or that far away, whatever you want to call it. This is putting evidence against your position. What I'm saying is you have yet to present anything. You're just making claims with no evidence, nothing to support what you're saying. So what I'm asking you to do is actually do like I did. I took a model of the earth as a flat plane, right? I took an observation of the sun because we could just see the sun in real life, and I calculated what the sun what would happen with the sun on a flat plane, and it would never set. So, like I said in part two, what I'm asking you to do is to actually take the actual globe model and show us with whatever you think is necessary, the air or Coriolis or gravity or if you want to take into account the spin, you show us whatever forces are at play and show us that it does not work. Don't just claim again that it doesn't work and show links that I've already said, I've already seen that's not adding new information. You still haven't made any case against the globe by this plane thing. You have not made anything for me to answer yet. That's what I'm telling you, right? And he says you should really stop assuming that because it's not the official globe, we're looking at this. So, so listen, you're saying the globe doesn't work, but then you're expecting me to say it's wrong according to a non-official model of the globe. That makes no sense. That's like if I was to say, you know what, I think blue looks bad on you, and you're wearing green. It's like I'm wearing green, yeah, but blue looks bad on you. What are you talking about? Why in the world would I think it's okay to quote disprove something that's not the official globe model? That makes no sense. If you're saying the globe is wrong, then you need to disprove the globe, not some concocted model of the globe. So I mean, yeah, exactly. For simplification in the books, but that's it's an interesting point to bring up, but it's sort of touching upon the mistake he's making. But apparently, he believes some kind of way it's okay to not use the official globe way of looking at it to disprove the globe. I mean, I guess we can see why Real Cognitus, he's not really understanding the process of actually making a case against a model. Like for some reason, he thinks he doesn't even have to address the model to make a case against the model. Um, all right, so I think that's enough on this. I mean, I think that right there says it all. So let me just see if again this might help him to try to actually address the model and actually make a case against it, just like again I show can be done against the flat Earth. So hopefully he can take this example and try to actually make some kind of valid case against it rather than just claiming something and using something that's not the official globe way of looking at it. Because if you're not using the official globe way of looking at it, then you're not disproving the globe. So yeah. Thanks for showing up, Real Kindness. Always good to see you. I have some homework to do, so I'm gonna go ahead and hop off. But I appreciate him taking the time to respond and make these claims. But I'll make these videos shorter and shorter to the point where I just won't respond anymore if I keep getting the same type of response when I've addressed it already. So this one is going to be just a 20-minute one on this one this time, and maybe next time it'll be 10, and next time it just won't happen if it's the same exact thing again, if there's still not something real presented. But look for me later this week on Saturday. I'm pretty sure I'll do the Veritas thing. And also, I want to review that thing that Neil deGrasse Tyson made I guess you can't necessarily call it a rebuttal, but he sort of laid out what really happened with Terrence Howard. So I'm definitely going to review that this week. I thought that was just so interesting. And he brought up so many good points about science and how science is done. And I think it was awesome. So I know I'm going to review that this week. I know I'm going to do another part of the Veritas this week. I have a lot of homework to do, so it might not be into the weekend, but you never know. I might pop up impromptu and respond to him again for like 10 minutes or something. Uh, yeah, it was funny, man. It was funny, but he was very respectful and polite, but yeah, but man, him talking about the science and the process of vetting a new idea. I mean, it was awesome. So I'm definitely going to talk about that this week. Always good seeing you, man. I'll see you next time. And flat earthers, please like actually make a plane instead of just like a backed up plane. Instead of I've already addressed it, man. Watch the stream, New Perspective, and actually make a claim this time. Actually do something to make a claim. Uh, uh, so awesome. All right, y'all. Y'all be good.